write that on your paper. We're going to take these into our reading journals at the end. So we have sequencing today. I'll give you a minute to write that down. All right, I see most everybody is finished. So raise your hand and tell me what you think sequencing is. Yes, ma'am, I saw your hand first.
First, second, third.
First, second, third. Awesome, awesome. What's an example of sequencing?
Like the story, like what happened in the beginning.
Yes. Perfect, that's great. Do you have something to add? Yeah. Absolutely. Those are all sequencing words that we use. So, you know what? I like where this is going. Y'all go ahead and let's talk about that. What were the words that you guys were saying? Yeah. Yes, sir.
First, next, then last.
First, next, then last. Awesome. You know what? Now that we're already here, why don't you guys go ahead and write that? You can go ahead and sit down, guys. In your blue box that says vocabulary. So what were our words? We said first, second, next, then last. Sound good? All right, let's go ahead and write those down. And we'll talk about those in just a minute. In our blue box. Yes, ma'am. Yes, in your blue box that says vocabulary. Alright guys, so raise your hands. I know we do sequencing every single day, we just don't even think about it. So raise your hand and tell me what you do in the morning. What is it you do in the morning? Yes sir, what do you do in the morning? Okay, you do work in the morning. So you guys follow a sequence of directions, don't you?
Oh, yes.
So tell me what you guys do in the morning. You eat breakfast, okay. What comes next? Yes, ma'am. Putting your clothes on. Okay, so you eat breakfast and then you put your clothes on. Is that right? All right. What would be next?
You go to school.
You go to school. And then brush your teeth. You brush your teeth at school?
No. I'm not finished.
So before you come to school, you brush your teeth. I like where this is going. What else do we do? What's next?
I wasn't finished. Breakfast at school.
Okay, so some people eat breakfast at home, some people eat breakfast at school. That could be different orders of events. All right, what else do we do in our morning routine? Yes, ma'am. What do we do? You do what?
What do you do?
Next in your, what would be next in our sequence of things we do in the morning? Okay, so we have lots of different things that we're doing in the morning. And so we're going to think about an example so everybody can put their hands down. So I know when I wake up in the morning, I like to go on a run. Raise your hand if you like to run. Exercise, PE, all of that. Yeah, awesome, me too. It's great for your health. And so when I get up in the morning, I have to put on my shoes and my socks. But there's a special order to which we do everything. Can anybody raise their hand and tell me what our very, very, very first step might be in putting on our shoes and socks? Emily.
Put on your socks, then your shoes.
Put on your socks, then your shoes. Okay, so first, shall we say that? Let's write this in our example. So first step would be first we put on socks. So everybody, let's be filling out in the red box. You're doing good, great.
Oh.
In your red box. First, I like the highlighting too, that's great. shoes. Okay, so what will we say? Do you want to say then? Then you put on your shoes?
Next.
In. You put on your shoes. Bless you. All right. So we'll write that down. And if you can, underline your sequencing word. That'll help you remember your sequence. I like it. Keep doing a good job. All right, I see almost everybody's finished with that. All right, raise your hand and tell me what's going to come next. If we have, let's think there's 2 more steps. What would our next step be? Put on your pants? Okay, if we're just thinking in terms of doing our shoes and our socks though, if we put on our shoes, what
You gotta tie it.
You gotta tie your laces. That's great. So what's our sequence?
Then.
Then?
Then. On the second supposed to be next, but then on the third supposed to be then.
Okay, we can say next. Does that sound good? Next, we tie our shoes. I like it. All right, so number 3. Next. Next, we tie the laces. Awesome. You guys are doing a great job. Thank you for taking such good notes today. All right. Okay, and so in the morning, why was I putting on my shoes? Did I want to go, what was I wanting to do? Yes, ma'am. Go walking or running. So what is our number 4 statement? Finally, I love that. Okay, so what is my sentence going to be? Finally. I only need to hear one answer.
Finally, I get to go run.
Finally, I get to go run. That sounds great. Okay, so number 4. Finally, I get to go run. I'm going to put an exclamation point because I really want to run. All right. Doing a wonderful job. Okay, so what we're going to do next is we're going to get to practice with our sequencing. And so, what did we use just now? Raise your hand and tell me what we used to kind of order our events. What words did we use? Yes, ma'am.
First, then next, and
First, then, next, and last. Okay, so on our testing, we sometimes have questions. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I'll erase the board. Sometimes we have questions on our big tests that ask us to sequence. So when your question, you read a big story, and then your question asks you to sequence the events, what are they saying? Put it in order. Yes, absolutely. And so when they tell you to, is that the eraser? Okay. When they tell you to put it in order, what are the, like, do you always have to go back and like reread the whole story?
No, sometimes you can
Just
say right there.
sometimes you can go back and
Skim and scan.
Skim and scan. I love that strategy. So skim and scan, but what could else, raise your hand and tell me what else might be able to give you some clues as to what would be next. My friend in the red, can you tell me what would be some clues? What are the words we just talked about?
she answered your question. What she saying?
If you were on a test and you had a story that you had to read, and you didn't want to have to go back and reread the whole story to know the sequence, what words in the questions are going to help you know how to sequence your story? Okay, so can which words? You said we're looking for certain words. Absolutely. That's what we're looking for. Great job. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's do this in blue. And so you guys don't have notes for this, but what I want you to do is help me figure this question out. I'm on my test and I'm stuck. And so Miss Parkey needs help figuring this out because I struggle with this too. So just looking at this question, without even reading the story, what do we know is going to be the first thing in our sequence? Somebody? Yes, sir. I haven't heard from you yet. B. Why do you know that B is going to be number 1 in our sequence?
Because it says first.
Oh, my bad. It says first. Okay, so number 1. Whoa, that's blue. First. All right, that's a cool color. Okay, so first, Janet went to the store to buy ingredients. You're so right. All right, now this is going to be a little harder. So tell me what our second thing is going to be in our sequence and how you know. Yes, sir. You did such a good job earlier. After? Okay, why are you saying after? Okay. And yes, that's great. Why did you not choose later? Because later could potentially come after. Why did you not choose later? Because why? She didn't make the cake yet. So you used your context clues to figure this out. So does everybody see why we're choosing D as number 2?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so number 2, and we knew going to the store. That's how we knew this was number 2. All right, so number 3 and 4. Let's think, instead of thinking too hard about this, what do we know an easy way to finish off this? Yes, ma'am.
All you gotta do is when she goes put her clothes away, she'll go home and do her ingredients and get ready to make the cake.
Okay, so you knew number 3 she was going to have to make her cake before she shared it. But what's the really easy way we can know right off the bat? Yes, ma'am.
Because later comes before finally.
Finally. So what does finally tell us?
That's the end.
The end. Very good. Okay, so I know I can go out of order and say finally. That's number 4. And so, cool. Well, I have 1, 2, something, and 4. Obviously, 3 comes next. And so, you didn't have to go back and reread your whole story to know that this is how you should do it. Okay, so we're going to practice this again with another example. Oh yes, thank you, Ms. Walker, for sliding that up. Okay. So this one is going to be a good one. So what I want you to do now is take 1 minute. I'm going to put 1 minute on our timer, and if you can talk with the friends at your table, and you guys, Emily, you can come join this table over here if you'd like. You guys discuss what's going to be our sequence, and then we'll talk about it as a class. So 1 minute.